Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Courtney King, and today's short talk is going to be about another role that is one of the easiest jobs to get in tech, I believe. This is my third episode in my 4-part series about the easiest jobs to get in tech. If you haven't seen the first 2 videos, go check them out. We talked about customer support / technical support, and then entry-level sales positions, either the SDR or the BDR role. Today, we're going to be talking about an interesting one, and this is one for folks who are a little bit more creative. We're going to be talking about the social media manager / coordinator / intern. Now, this role is so interesting because it can manifest itself in so many different ways. There's some companies who they think social media is a burden and they're like, let's just hire an intern. Let's just hire some college kid to just handle our social media presence. I don't care what they do on there. I just need somebody to handle it. And if you are that college kid, then this can be great, right? This can be a great thing. Sometimes they're a little bit more structured. You're given a specific budget that you have to manage in order to create content. You're going to have to be asked for more specific, concrete qualifications, like maybe a certain number of years experience, etc. But I want to stick to the entry-level side of this. So an entry-level social media manager position typically is not going to require a bachelor's degree or a specific professional qualification, so much as a demonstrated understanding of a few really important concepts. So in some way, you're going to have to demonstrate an understanding of how to generate engagement on the specific social media sites that company is looking for. So we're talking about tech. Typically, they're going to be interested in LinkedIn and YouTube. And there could be all sorts of content maybe they want to make on YouTube. Maybe they want to do demos. Maybe they want to do some sort of like interview series with people in the industry. Maybe you're going to help determine what it is they're going to do on YouTube. There are some, I guess, really trendy tech companies that want to create content on like TikTok and stuff. And yeah, that's important too. But I do think that the majority of tech companies are going to be, number one, most interested in LinkedIn, and number 2, interested in YouTube. And so they're going to want you to demonstrate an understanding of those platforms from a consumer's point of view, but also from a content creator's point of view. An understanding of what kind of content does well within your space on those platforms. A technical understanding of how to use, a good technical understanding of how to use those platforms. An understanding of SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. Pretty much anyone who's a content creator on any platform has to have some understanding of search engine optimization. That is, how do you get your content to show up when people search for specific keywords in search engines? It's hugely important, and it is like one of the core tenets of marketing in general these days. And they're going to want you to have some sort of understanding and possibly experience with content creation itself. So how can you display this? Maybe you are a small content creator for your own personal brand. Maybe you have done some local work for your school, right? On social media, or for some businesses, right? In your area. Anything like that can show you understand the platforms and how to use them is great. One other thing is, it's extremely important for you to be a great communicator. This is for people who are likely extroverted, who are charged up by talking to people and meeting new people. And, can you write copy is what it's called. It basically means written content in the voice of the company's brand. So you work for a tech company. They have theoretically some existing branding, some sort of digital branding, and likely that branding has a voice. Sometimes it's more casual and playful. Sometimes it's very serious and technical, like a cybersecurity company. Whatever that voice is, you're going to have to be able to adapt that voice and create copy. So written content in that voice. This is relatively straightforward on a platform like LinkedIn. You're going to have to create posts that are talking about whatever, a new feature, existing features, maybe interviewing people who work at the company and doing little spotlights on different roles. Whatever it is that is going to garner engagement and brand recognition for that company, you need to understand how it is that's done. So this is a great role for someone who's interested in marketing, but doesn't have any formal experience there. If you're studying marketing right now, or maybe you just graduated with a marketing degree and you need to get some experience, this can be a great one. An intern position, depending on how much it pays, even if it doesn't pay very little, it's a great thing to get on your resume because it's just going to compound and give you access to social media manager or coordinator roles that are a little bit more advanced, have a bigger budget, and eventually will require you to manage a team. It can be really helpful if you know how to leverage other content creators in your space to do cross-marketing. So you see this all the time. It's like they'll have a mom blogger do a little Instagram reel about diapers that she is being sponsored by this diaper company. And so these are the diapers that I use for my kids, right? Like that's cross-marketing because it's marketing for her and her brand, right? She's a content creator. She has a brand and it's also marketing for the diaper company. So do you know how to, reach out to and engage content creators that possibly could engage in some of this content creation stuff? If you're talking more YouTube, absolutely, you're going to have to demonstrate some ability to create videos that are at least decent, right? That's a whole topic for a different video, but doesn't have to be hard, doesn't have to be complicated. You can literally shoot content on your phone, and people do all day, every day. So doesn't mean that you have to have like a bunch of expensive equipment and have gone to film school or anything like that. Although if you did go to film school and you're looking for something to do, this might be a good one as well. This is just a good role for someone who's interested in marketing and in branding. This is a great, fun way to get into it. It can be very ambiguous. It can be one of those roles, like I said, where leadership doesn't want to give you a whole lot of budget or resources, but they want you to move mountains. And they're like, I don't know how social media works. Just get us a bunch of followers. I don't care how you do it. And you're like, well, I need some money to buy equipment and to shoot something. And they're like, no, do it for no money at all. I mean, that can be a possibility. And then you have to get really creative. You're like, guess we're shooting content on an iPhone. Doesn't matter, right? It can be a very ambiguous role. It can be a role where your leadership just basically doesn't understand what good content creation is. They maybe don't understand search engine optimization. They may not understand how to write good copy. They just want you to do it, but not give you a lot of resources for it. Or you can get really, really lucky. And you could be sitting within a marketing team, a digital marketing team at a tech company that absolutely knows what they're doing. And they have a game plan. They have goals that they're working for. They have a whole digital media strategy. And you are just a piece of that digital media strategy. That can be awesome. Again, great way to learn a lot on the job, learn from people who are doing the thing that you want to do. It just is a role where you would be able to absorb a lot of information in a short amount of time. This is also a role that's really good for networking because you will meet a lot of people and interact with a lot of people. It is a role that's very personality driven. It is a role that suits people who are extroverted and suits people who are creative and who are able to do a lot with a little bit of resources given to them. So if that sounds like you would be a good fit. This is a good role for someone who spends a lot of time on social media and creating content on social media anyway, right? If you're someone who's terminally online and you understand how digital branding should work and how it should feel from a consumer's point of view, but also from the point of view of the brand itself, you would be a great fit for this. So I wanted to include this one on my list because I didn't include anything else for folks who are more creative. This can be a great step to working in marketing. Marketing is a part of the company that a lot of creative folks want to get into, but they don't really understand what modern marketing is, right? It's not like coming up with cool slogans. It's not like a Mad Men sort of like advertising agency sort of thing. All of that is kind of gone, right? It is being able to understand data patterns about who is engaging with your brand, who is not engaging with your brand. When are they engaging on what platforms? It is actually a lot of data analysis and a lot of search engine optimization. So it is definitely more data driven than I think people realize. And that can scare creative folks off because they feel like, oh, it's going to be numbers and spreadsheets and stuff. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. And specifically, this more entry-level social media intern or social media manager role can be a great way to get your foot in the door. And if you create kick-ass content, it will get noticed. If it does not, if you are not rewarded for that kick-ass content at your company, I guarantee you other companies are looking and watching, and they're seeing the content that you're creating. If it works and it's getting engagement and it's high quality, you will suddenly have, I think, lots of job offers open to you. So if that sounds like something that would interest you, if you already are interested in content creation and all this stuff, and you already know a little bit, and you want to get started, yeah, I would definitely look for some social media intern roles. If you're someone who's in college still, look for some social media intern roles. They do not have to take up very much time. They don't have to take up very much time. So you can definitely do them on like part-time, scheduling your content out ahead of time so that you can still take finals and stuff like that. Another way to get into this role is doing freelance work for companies that are in your area. There's likely lots of companies that are local that, same thing, they have a boss that's like, I need a social media presence, and I really don't know anything about that. And you can start to set your own prices for this. So eventually, I think a really good social media manager coordinator turns into a freelancer, an independent person. You can make way more money doing it that way than working directly for a tech company or a social media consultant. That's when you've gotten really good at the job. And bigger companies are willing to pay money for you to teach their marketing team how to do social media and how to create content that's good. And so, yeah, there's lots of growth here, and you sort of have options, whether you want to go the corporate route or you want to go the more independent route. But if you're just starting out, look for these entry-level roles online, and also look for companies in your area that are looking to hire a social media manager. Typically, their budgets will be low, but their expectations will be kind of low also, which is good if you're new to it. If you're learning on the job, which is totally fine, that could be kind of good. I firmly believe that most like random 21-year-olds with no work experience would do a better job of managing social media than many tech companies do. I truly believe that. So don't scare yourself out of it. If you're creative and you're interested in this stuff, go for it. Okay, guys, that is the social media manager / intern role. I have one more of these coming up in this series, and this one is going to be my favorite. It'll be coming out in the next few days, so look out for that. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. It really helps me out, and so I really appreciate when you guys do that for me. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.